What's going on, everyone? This is the Michigan Junior Arena. We are at day 3. A lot of things are happening here. Hopefully this stream, the connection is kind of shaky, but right now it seems to be holding up. I'm going to get into the games. Right now, BCW Arts, which is the Midtown Checkmates first board, has beaten Circus Master in the first game, and then now he's playing they're playing the 5-minute game here. Circus Master represents Detroit Tactics. Right now, they are struggling. Detroit Tactics are. Actually, it says a draw there. I wonder. Go back here. I thought that was a win. I guess it was a draw the first game. It was a draw there. That's weird. Okay, I see it was a draw by perpetual check there. BCW Arts has been struggling in the 30 minutes against lower players. He has a couple draws and a loss. So here, this was also a draw, but I don't think it should have been a draw. Oh man, this is bad here. All he had to do was take this pawn and he was going to be able to. That was a bad decision there for BCW Arts. So if I'm looking, he could just take this. This is just completely winning. And then he just goes in and he takes the pawns. I do not know why. Don't know why he took that draw. That was just a simple win there. Okay. All right, we have to look at some of these matchups here. I'm going to pull this up here. I'm gonna actually, for you guys, thank you for joining the Michigan Junior Arena live stream. All right. Let's see here. All right. Let's see. What's the next game that we could see here? Let's go to a Master Minute. So Master Minute has played the first 30-minute game against SME8N. Master Minute here was white. So he's going to play another game of 5 minutes and 2-second increment after this game. And he's playing curve. He's playing SME8. So this was, if you look at it here, we're in the black division. That's the Farmington Forks, who are undefeated. And they were playing the Bloomfield Bishops, who are also undefeated. So these are the two undefeated teams here. Bloomfield Bishops and the Farmington Forks. And already there's a classical win for the Forks over the second board, SME8N. There was a no-show from the first board of the Forks, even though they're undefeated. Their second through fifth boards are really good, and they've been playing really well, despite the injury of their first board. Might have to get a free agent there to play first board for the Farmington Forks, actually. And also on that team is Rashad Balaji. I'm gonna see if his game actually happened here. There's been a lot of injured players. What I mean by that is they're not there. They're not there. Might have spelled that wrong. It's Rashad Balaji versus Ohadma. Let's go and look at Ohadma. There we go. And see if they play their game. These are the two top teams in the black division. Maybe they're favored to win the championship. First time these two teams played against each other. And in this game, Rashad Balaji from the Farmington Forks wins both games here. the 30-minute game and the classic and the 5-minute game as well. So Rashad Balaji, I believe, is undefeated so far from the third board, which is really driving the Farmington Forks there. So already there's 2 classical victories over the Bloomfield Bishops by the Farmington Forks. Now, we also have Abhiraj Sarkar, who's playing the 4th board for the Farmington Forks, who also, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is undefeated on the 4th board as well. And he's playing Spark 101 from the Bloomfield Bishops, who won 2 games last week. And let's see here. Okay. All right, so Spark 101. Bloomfield Bishops really need him to win these games. These are very important games here. And actually, the first game, still undefeated, is A02032010. As his Abhiraj Sarkar has now defeated Spark in a 30-minute game, plus defeated him in a 5-minute game as well. So that ends those hopes for, I think that's it. In the classical portion, might even be the same in the Blitz portion for the Bloomfield Bishops already. I mean, this team, Farmington Forks, is a powerhouse here. And we might as well check in on the last board, which is Queen's Army. Yeah, Queen's Army, and she's facing a new Festive Chaos here, I believe. And Queen's Army has won both of those games as well. And this is almost a sweep. If it wasn't for the first board not showing up again. The Farmington Forks is dominating without their number 10th draft pick, the 10th draft pick in the draft, their top board. They're dominating the league. Wow. This with 4 players. So let's get back and let's see if we could see anything happening with the SME8 end game. It's the Blitz game against Master Minute. I don't think that was a game they had to play. So let's see, we can catch them live. We can. Okay. And in this position, I see black is up a pawn, but the pawns are doubled here. White has a weak square he can sit a knight on, knight b2 to knight c4. So I think white is okay here. Same material. Just this square here I'm looking at. Okay, so he chooses to triple his pawns here, and it looks like queen c1. I don't know the plan here. Maybe queen to e1 was better, aiming at the pawn here on c3. But there's triple pawns here, and don't underestimate these triple pawns because they control so many squares. Looks like Master Minute his design is to go bishop to d4 and put his bishop in the center of the board, and maybe even bishop to d5 as well. So So there's one attacker on the c5 pawn, now bishop d4, and maybe his plan is to play d4 here and open up the file for the rook. Or maybe even bishop to f3, but instead he chooses to protect with the queen. And he plays bishop d6. This is a blunder because a rook takes d6. I don't understand what he was thinking there, but a rook takes c6 and that's over. That's a free piece. And Masterman is taking his time. He has about a 40 second time lead, and that's it. Masterman wins both of his games. So literally, Farmington Forks has won every game other than the first board, who didn't show up. And the funny thing is, they almost did that last week. Their biggest challenge was the Muskegon Masters, but they almost did the same thing last week to Detroit Tactics. But there was one loss in the Blitz portion by Master Minute. So another one we have, let's look at actually what I want to do. If you guys give me 1 second. Okay. And we will switch back here and let's catch some more games. For those of you who are watching this live stream, thanks for joining. I don't know how good the internet is here. It looks like it's going in and out. Sorry for that. Joining. I don't know how good. Okay. And we're going to look at some of the other games. Full empty pajamas. And he is the first board for the Muskegon Masters, who are 1-1. And he plays Shooty. Shooty is the first board from the Detroit Dragons. So the Muskegon Masters versus the Detroit Dragons in a classical game. Full empty pajamas wins this game. He wins the classical game, but loses the Blitz game. But classical is the most important part of our team league here. That's where all the prizes are coming for the classical. And next we have Vizel from the Muskegon Masters. Let's check out what he did here. Okay. And he's playing Avenir Ball from Canada. And in their game, I think we might have a chance to peek in on them live. Nope. 30 minutes. Avenir wins the 30 minutes and the 5-minute game. So that gives the Detroit Dragons a win there in classical. And the next was Tacky Element. And he is the third board for the Muskegon Masters. And he's playing, I believe this is DDoS 10, I believe. And yes, DDoS 10, and DDoS 10 wins the classical and the Blitz portion. So that's dragons that are up 2-1 there in classical. That's what we're going to count there. And next, we look at Gogo Stello, who is picked up from free agency by the Muskegon Masters. And he's playing Shooty 7214. Caden Hill. And in their game, Gogo Stello plays. Okay, yeah, Gogo Stello loses the 30 minutes, which gives the victory for the classical to the Dragons. Gives the victory to them because they have 3 wins in the classical. But he comes back and wins the 5-minute game against Shooty 7214. So the Detroit Dragons will go on to win that in classical there. And finally, in that team, we have Queen's Command for the Queen's Command for the Muskegon Masters. And she's playing M. Davis from the Detroit Dragons. And her games, Queen's Command wins the classical, so she gets a victory in classical for the Muskegon Masters, but then loses the Blitz game against M.A. Davis there. So the Dragons go ahead and beat the Muskegon Masters in classical there. And I will say the checkmates, we had a draw in the classical. No show rider checkmates for their second board. Harlan Howard, no show there. And Joshua White, another no show there for him. And that means that you had everything depended on Evan Clark, EAC. And he played, see, and he played here Puzzled Expert, and EAC, whoa, he wins. So they're not used, they play Correspondence though. But okay, so he does win the classical then. He wins the classical against Puzzle Expert, but then loses the Blitz. So he wins the classical, and that gives them 1.5. So if Dilly 789, if he could win the classical against, this is, who was he playing here? If Dilly could win the classical against Unicorn Girl, he does, and that means they tie for the classical portion. Dilly does beat Unicorn Girl, and also beats her in the Blitz as well. So he saves the checkmates, even though they were missing their second board. He saves the checkmates there in this game. Saves them, so they get the draw. They were winless before, and they get a draw in this game here against Detroit Tactics, who was also winless actually. And I think we covered everybody in that division, in the black division. In the white division, we have the Rooks, which is, first board is AJS Chess, Aiden Song, the highest player in this team arena. Now, he struggled as well. He lost to a low-rated player the first time. I think he had a draw the last round, if I'm not mistaken. So, or maybe it was another loss. I'm not sure. Yeah, actually, yes. So he lost his 2 classical games already, which is very surprising there. But here he plays Scott Lightyear, and he won his classical, and he won his. So he's getting his rhythm back, looks like, and he won his Blitz as well. So this was the Rochester Rooks versus the Franklin Fried Liver, and was able to win that. Next is the second board is Rhea Desai's Determined Octopus, who won both of her games last week. And so we're going to look at her. And the Rochester Rooks, I believe, are winless as well in this tournament. But Determined Octopus, she does lose to Saxer in the Classical, which makes it 1-1, but then she does beat Saxer in the Blitz. Okay, those are 2 separate different leagues there, Blitz and Classical, but the prizes come with Classical. All right, next. Now I know there was a no-show from, I think it was Budita, who also might have no-showed last week, so I'm gonna have to see about that there. But then we have Nasir Gore versus Armand. I think that's Armand Ball there. And let's go and Armand. Gonna go, let's do Nasir. Okay, so Nasir 0225. Now Rochester Rooks already have 2 wins in the Classical because of the no-show from Budita, who's learned chess 9. And here I don't see. So it looks like Nasir did not show today either. So Aman will get the 2 wins there. And here we're gonna have, well, Top Madhouse versus Malaysia. And Malaysia did not show up either. So Fried Liver is struggling because a lot of the players are not showing up. Okay. And that means the Rochester Rooks will go ahead and beat the Fried Liver. Let's go to the Novi Knights. This is Kevin Cobb here. And let's see. Go. All right, so he did. Whoa, what is he? What's happening here? Okay. So KJ Cobb beats Roper 10 from the Wood Pushers, who are undefeated as well in Classical. Noah 10 loses the Classical game, but then wins the Blitz game. Oh, no, a draw in the Blitz game there. And, okay. Now, next is, let's go to Hidden Forest from the Wood Pushers. He's the second board for the Wood Pushers and playing Brennan Hadley. they did play the game, and the first game was won by Hidden Forest. And then the Blitz game was won by Hidden Forest as well. So Hidden Forest wins both of those games, and that gives them a 1-1 lead in Classical. Next was Grizzly. Grizzly from the Wood Pushers. And he played the third board from the Novi Knights, Keelan. And I don't see, okay, maybe. Go back here. Okay, there we go. We got some games here. All right, so the Classical game was a draw. The Classical game was a draw, and then the Blitz game, White wins the Blitz game there. Okay. And Little Almond, who's the fourth board, the future of the Implodians. Okay. And he played the fourth board from the Novi Knights, which is a good matchup, Leon Ma. And that I think was gonna be, that's a really good matchup there. And Little Almond wins the 30-minute portion and also wins the Blitz. Little Almond, I believe, is undefeated here on fourth board. And next is Wolf Hunter 04. And he's the fifth board for the Warren Wood Pushers against Victor Papa. And there it goes. So Wolf Hunter loses the 30-minute game and wins the Blitz game. So if we look at the wins and the losses, Wood Pushers win 3-2. Barely gets by the Novi Knights there. And I think Wood Pushers are now still undefeated in Classical. All right, next, Ann Arbor Advantage versus the Saginaw Sacrifice. So Super Samrat plays the Charlie Reese, and they, wait a minute, it says this game was not played. Okay, they get the game now. And Super Samrat, there was a draw in the Classical game. And Super Samrat wins the Blitz game. So that was a big, that was actually big for the Saginaw Sacrifice to get the half point there, because Super Samrat outrates CPR chess with Charlie Reese at the first board. So to get a point there and leave it to the rest of the team is a good thing. Next, the second board for the Ann Arbor Advantage is Taste the Pace. Okay, and he plays DDoS 9. First game, DDoS 9 wins the game for Saginaw Sacrifice, and then Taste the Pace also loses the Blitz game as well. And that was a big win for the Sacrifice, which gives them 1.5 now to just a half point. Next is the Cool Peaceful Arrow, who's the third board for the Ann Arbor Advantage, facing off against this would be Bryce B. And 30-minute game. Cool Peaceful Arrow wins the 30-minute game. And Bryce B wins the Blitz game there. So Cool Piece for Arrow makes it 1.5. So they're tied right now. Now it's up to Drew. Drew, who is Strange Bolt. And he's taking on Saginaw Sacrifice's fourth board, Chess BTL, I believe. I think it's Chess Legacy here. Now, Strange Bolt in the first game. Black wins, so Strange Bolt loses the first game. So in the Classical, Sacrifice takes a lead. That's 2.5 to 1.5. And Strange Bolt also, he wins. Strange Bolt wins the Blitz game. And next for gonna look at Tater Gator. Tater Gator is the fifth board for Ann Arbor Advantage, and he needs to win in order to tie the match in Classical against Rocky Wang. And the 30-minute game, White wins, so Saginaw Sacrifice goes on to win this Classical match, and he also wins the Blitz game 2 against Tater Gator, and Saginaw Sacrifice wins and beats the Ann Arbor Advantage. Standings will be coming out tomorrow. I will have the updated standings. Remember, Sunday you're playing a game again, one 30-minute game, one 5-minute game with 2-second increment game right after that. Always the same color. If you have black during the 30-minute game, you have black during the 5-minute and 2-second increment game too. You don't switch colors. And the rosters, it takes a couple days for the rosters to update because we have so many people that are being replaced because they're not showing up, that you probably should look at your phone when you're looking at those rosters instead of the website, because it takes the website a while to update. Okay. And but for the Michigan Junior Arena, I am the coach, Implodian, out.